And we're good to go. So thanks you. So we have Oriel here with part of the team for the Martian Premier League, and he's gonna talk to us about the project, how like the story about it, like the usual AMA. So first of all, thank you for being here. Maybe you can
Thank you very
first
much.
introduce
Thank you.
yourself, and we go on right after.
Yeah, sure. Well, thank you everyone for being here and listening to me this evening. It's pretty late here in the UK, so I hope you're all not staying up late like I am. My name is Corey, or obviously as my nick is Oriel. I'm one of the co-founders of the project. Probably just a little bit of background about the team, and then maybe we can jump into the project. So the team, the co-founders are four of us. Eleanor is our creative lead. Eleanor is formerly was the creative director at Harry Potter, where she worked on digital and physical projects across Wizarding World, Potter, and Fantastic Beasts. Tom is currently leading an esports organization focused on Counter-Strike and Fortnite, and was formerly the commercial director for J.K. Rowling. I've spent my entire career advising venture capital and private equity and technology investment. And then Adam, who is an Ethereum developer, currently working for the Graph, but also worked on pretty prominent crypto projects. The one you'll be most familiar with is USDC,
Okay.
which is obviously a
A
pretty
big
big
one.
deal as a
Yeah.
stable coin. So it's a pretty interesting team. We all know each other in person. We've worked together before in various guys in our careers, and are excited to leave our careers behind, hopefully shortly, to build a new universe on Mars.
Nice. And also see like you've brought on board Zeneca, which is quite famous on the space.
Yeah, so we've been speaking to Zeneca for a while. I was fortunate to get to know Zeneca a little bit, but in the early days of NFTs, I don't know if you remember when Zeneca was just the guy who posted
Yeah,
stats.
posted stuff, some like random stuff, and now I built his
Yeah, so
community. We started at 0.03, and it's like almost 0.3 with Zeneca Academy right now. So
yeah, exactly.
he's doing the
So
job.
lucky, yeah, be really lucky to bring him on board. He's been an invaluable source of advice. And actually, we have a Spaces coming up with him next week as well. So I'm sure you'll be able to hear more, where we're going to be talking about world building and the Martian Premier League.
Yeah, that's awesome. So you had a vision for Mars. Like, what was it? Like, what's the lore for Mars, and what's the MPL? So MPL
Yeah.
guy
So
is gonna be the short for Martian Premier League. I think it's gonna be
yes,
easier.
yeah, exactly. So really, a little bit of the genesis of this project came about when myself and Tom spent an evening probably drinking too much, as I'm sure you could appreciate, and Tom was
Rebuilding the
very
world.
frustrated. Exactly. And Tom was very frustrated about how traditional media, the frustrations of working at a place like Warner Brothers,
Mm-hmm.
where intellectual property rights were not really focused on the fans, and the sense of kind of community and link between holders or people who are investing or buying into your projects was very limited. Effectively they were just viewed as places to extract cash from, as opposed to kind of a community of holders that were going to help you sort of build and develop your brand and vision.
Okay.
And we spent a lot of time talking about this. I'd been into NFTs for quite a while, fascinated by it. Obviously, a number of my venture friends had been interested in it, and we said, actually, maybe there's something we can do here, because I think we recognized that there was a number of challenges in the space
Mm-hmm.
for
There's a
many
lot. Yeah.
projects, but not all, that were around the following. The first was that most projects were, where they were gaming related, the art was generally terrible.
Yep.
And I think, we said, actually, if we're going to do something, then we want the high quality PFP art. And hopefully you like some of the sneak peeks you've seen. We've been working with Rupert. Rupert is actually a freelance illustrator who's recently collaborated with Marvel. I think he is absolutely awesome. He's coming across to London to see us for dinner in a week, so
Okay.
it probably will be a night off, I think. the and and then equally, we also wanted something that the space lacks a lot of teams that have genuine credibility and the ability to execute something over a multiple sort of 3 to 5 year time span. And I think this team with the kind of background with Marvel, Warner Brothers, Harry Potter, venture
that's some
capital,
big names,
private
right?
equity, is something that we see this as a 3 to 5 year project.
All
And
right. So you already answered like one of my questions. Like I followed
yeah.
later. That's nice.
So we really actually began the story at a kind of very boring grey office block, where we said, what about a kind of football manager type game on the blockchain? Could that work? And we quickly realized that this would be very boring and hard for us to expand, because it's just based on it's sort of difficult to do kind of like quite innovative art in that space. You're quite creatively limited. So we sort of developed the story around Professor Gaffer, who is our main protagonist, who is sick of his earthly disappointments and is sending 9,000 humans to join 1,000 Martians on Mars to compete in the inaugural Martian Premier League. The way you should think about that as a game is Football Manager, but based on the blockchain. But for us, that is just one expression of the universe. We want the Martian Premier League to be an awesome, fun experience, and we should come and talk about that later.
Okay.
But we've given the whole world in Mars, and you'll see some of the lore we're starting to write if you've read our white paper, around allowing us to expand out the whole universe into a whole other kind of range of other opportunities. We're actually currently have signed up confidentially a former Marvel publisher to do a little bit of origin story for us, and I'm sure there may be a reward for holders pretty soon after the mint in relation to that.
All right, good. So talking about the mint, so I guess like a lot of us have this question: when is gonna be, and how many?
You guys will be the first to know this date, but it is tentatively going to be the 16th of March.
All right, so I hope everyone is like have ears open. 16th of March, book that on the calendar.
There'll be public announcement tomorrow regarding the mint date. So, but yeah, it's that's the date. It's a real balancing act, because actually a lot of the things are ready on our end. So the contract is ready, the art is ready. There's some finalization of some of the kind of interim game stuff to be done, but it's all on track. But this is a very a sort of messy space is how I describe it. There's so many projects going on, and we want to spend the right time, coming and speaking to kind of great groups like yourselves to get to know us and obviously get you excited about the project, because I by the way, I'd be super happy if people buy and flip and they make an ETH. That's great. I've done that on many projects, but I think often when people listen to us and speak to other AMAs they listen to with us, is they see that this is a team that is going to be able to deliver for them at the long term. And I recognize everyone has a sell point, but it should be something where people can feel confident that holding this for longer than 3 days is not going to suddenly mean they lose value.
Okay, and I see like the number 10,000. It's gonna be like 9,000 humans and 1,000 Martian. Like, what's the best to mint, a Martian or a human?
Well, I think all our art is unique and wonderful, but no, in terms of rarity, obviously visual rarity, Martians will be more rare, but there will be some very rare traits in humans.
Okay.
However, for gameplay, each Genesis character will have a quality tier. So when you mint your Genesis player, which will just be a L2 mint, you'll be able to redeem for the Martian Premier League. There'll be no, a human and a Martian has just as much chance to be an amazing player as as anything else. So your visual rarity does not necessarily relate to your skill rarity.
All right. So you were talking about level 2, like L2 chain. It's gonna be like an Arbitrum.
So it won't be on Arbitrum, but it'll be on Polygon.
Okay.
The mint of the kind of Genesis characters and the wonderful artwork by Rupert will be on Ethereum, and then the players and the gameplay will take place on Polygon.
All right, and like, is it gonna be playable on both like computer and mobile, or just computer?
Great question. As we move into the beta testing, it will be desktop only.
Okay.
However, mobile is very much in the roadmap, and we are hoping to accelerate that as fast as possible.
Okay. And I saw that like right now it's gonna be the players that we're gonna mint, but what about the stadium?
Yeah, so there'll be an opportunity, sort of approximately 6 to 8 weeks, 6 weeks ish after mint, when you'll be able to sort of get the opportunity for stadiums. Those stadiums will be this, form the kind of Genesis stadia of Mars. And those will be revenue accruing if games are played there.
Okay.
And there's some mechanics around that. I'm sure if you've managed to read our white paper, I think Professor Gaffer says that he understands about how people play Monopoly if you can't stay
Yeah.
anywhere for free.
I mean, I've read it because I've prepared those emails. I don't know if everyone like here wrote those, so that's why I'm asking some questions so you can also
Yeah, of course.
talk through for the our clan. Um, yeah. Also had another question about the game economy. Like I saw like there's some resilience. You can recruit players, and like the utility token is gonna be the footy. Can you tell us more about that?
Yeah, great question. So, in terms of the utility token, they will naturally accrue to your players. So you'll be able to accrue a certain amount a day. That number will not be fixed because we recognize that we have an important role in managing the economy. What we don't want a situation is that our utility token becomes so high valued
Mm-hmm.
that it's really expensive to do anything. That's not fun. Much like kind of crypto raiders where their Aram token, I think it's about 2 pence or something. It's very cheap. That's more of the kind of approach we're going. But you'll be able to use that utility token to improve your player traits, both temporarily and permanently, and also to recruit new players to your team from from your academy as you
Yes.
kind of build out your players and your team, in terms of doing that. The one thing I would say about this is that although you will need the utility token to do this, we will be doing some time gating. So you won't be able to do this, all day, every day,
Okay.
because we recognize that causes rampant inflation in terms of what's going on. So we need to balance that in the right way. But the important thing is that the way it is being designed is that you as somebody who has maybe a couple of players, you'll be able to recruit those players in plenty of time to build out the team that you want. Maybe you sell some, maybe you loan some to someone else for their team, but you won't feel that you have, that you won't feel like you're missing out, and you'll have plenty of
Okay. Yeah.
opportunity to do that.
Nice. Thank you. And I was also like wondering, there's like many game styles. Like there's the chair, the agent, manager, like a lot of different thing. How does you acquire those roles? Is like by the mint, or you can get those roles with the token?
So it's probably less about the roles. It's more about how you choose to play the game. So if you're someone like me who was a bit of a football manager nerd,
Mm-hmm.
I loved managing all the teams and taking a third division team to the Champions League. But if you're someone who's maybe not that interested in that, but you quite interested in the broader Mars universe, you might just recruit new players, and maybe you choose to sell them or loan them to someone else, and you're able to make a kind of small take and revenue on that basis. Or you might just acquire as many stadiums as possible in order to become a land baron.
Yeah.
So I think the way we've tried to design it is so you can play how you want to play.
Yeah, that's like linked to one of your vision, I think, and or the principle like it's fun and not labor, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's a really good, really important point for us. One of the things I've noticed about blockchain gaming is that it's not really a game. It's sort of stake your characters,
Yeah.
receive token, and I'm sort of like that is the world's loosest use of the word game I've ever seen. We are much more about building a game that has earning potential, of course, but it is primarily a game. It is primarily a game that is fun and enjoyable to play. And I think your point about mobile is great. The reason we're pushing quite aggressively in development on mobile
Mm-hmm.
is I want people to be able to say, okay, I've got a game coming up in 2 days. Let me look at the team. Okay, looks great. And then they can sort of get on with their day. So they're not having to, stare at their computer endlessly. But if they want to dig deeper and think, okay, what formation they're going to play, maybe I should do this. What substitutions do you think I should prioritize? So that people have that level of depth, but also they can play it in a way that is, doesn't take over their lives.
Yeah, and it's not like just a core. They have to log in, stake something, click 2 buttons,
Exactly,
and then
yeah.
properly. All right, awesome. On myself, I think it's quite clear, and I don't have any other questions. So I'm gonna let the people here, like either in the chat or in vocal, if you have question. Oh yeah, I see Aligoram already asked a question. Are you all working on this full time?
I am pretty much working on it full time. I'm fortunate that I'm a partner at a professional services firm. I haven't sold any work in the last 4 months. I'm not sure that will go well for me in the long term if this fails, but I haven't been, and most of us are now working on at least 50% of the time. Post mint, we will move to work on it full time as we wind down our other responsibilities. I think that is a big change for us. All of us are kind of 12 to 15 years experience in our careers. We're taking a huge risk doing this, but we really believe in this space, and hence why we'll be moving to do it full time, sort of pretty much immediately post mint.
Yeah.
But we're also not the only people working on it. There are a bunch of developers and community people below us who are also doing it as well.
All right, thanks. Any other question, guys? Don't be shy. Or you've been super clear, and that was clear for everyone. Oh, I might have another one. Like, what's, if you can say it, of course, the next planet after Mars?
Well, I would not say there's not a next planet, but we only just arrived on Mars.
Yeah.
There's a lot of story to go. How have the Martians been there? How have they survived? Exploration of Mars. Look, there's lots of things we would like to do with this, and you'll find out more in the origin story. But my sort of dream of the next expression after the Martian Premier League is some kind of survival type game on Mars as you kind of explore the broader universe. It sort of reminds me of my days of being absolutely terrible at Don't Starve Yourself. I forgot what the game's called now, but I just died all the time. I was very bad at it, but I always enjoyed it. So there's lots of ways that our kind of creative leads are thinking about the exploration of the universe
and the lore. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's also going to be on and off chain. So there will be blockchain gaming elements that we intend to add. We've got 3 to 5 years we're thinking about this vision, but some of it is also going to be traditional media. One of the big differences I think in our team versus lots of people when they talk about this is we have worked with all the traditional media before. Like we can actually call them up and they listen to us. And there is we are in discussions with a company you will all know right now
I guess you can't say
about that. No, we are under a very strict NDA,
Yeah.
so I can't say anything. But the second I can, it will be all over everywhere because I think it'll be very exciting for the community.
I think so. Like, it looks great. Like, you have a promising team, good people with a great background. So yeah, as Aligoram said, like, I think we're all excited for this. And I guess if there's like any other question, I'm gonna free you because yeah, it's like late also for me here, in Belgium. So I think we're gonna call it for today. Thank you for being here and explaining to us your project.
That's great. Well, look, thank you so much for having me. I know a bunch of you got on the Mars list. If any of you were listening today and didn't get on the Mars list and are intending to mint, thank you for listening to me. If you drop me a DM, I may, with no promises, be able to sort you out.
Oh, nice there. So the agents, thank you for that. So I will repeat the information. Yeah, sorry, King, go ahead.
Appreciate taking the time to explain the project. I love the art, so I'm looking a bit forward to the mint and the reveal.
Yeah, we just saw our female trait winner competition. So there's some Princess Leia hairdos and some other famous characters. So do check out Twitter for some sneak peeks that went up, I think, not very long ago.
Okay, great. Thanks a lot.
That's awesome. Have a great rest of your evening, everyone.
Thank
Thank you.
Cheers. Bye bye.